Brandon, Ash, we just got a ton of Kingdom Hearts news, and while there is plenty to talk about in regards to all this new information that has come out about Kingdom Hearts, I think this is also a good opportunity to talk about just the state of Kingdom Hearts, where it's been, where it's going, how do we feel about the series at this point, because it's been a long time. It's been 20 years, and it's definitely changed from where it started, and to see where it's ended up is interesting because this is sort of the start of a new saga, essentially, even though a lot of the stuff has been hinted at in games before, which might also be kind of the problem with Kingdom Hearts at the moment. But I want to just get a sort of a sit rep of how we're feeling about the series and how confident we are going forward in regards to everything. Now, for long-time listeners, viewers, people familiar with us, they know that both Ash and myself are massive Kingdom Hearts fans. But Brandon, where do you stand? How are you a Kingdom Hearts fan?
So I did not play the games when they came out. I played the entire series in the year leading up to Kingdom Hearts 3's launch.
Wow.
Well, I'd gotten a PS4. I got a PS4 because of Monster Hunter World, and I wanted to play it. And I was like, hey, I can play all these Kingdom Hearts games now. So I bought the collections, and I slowly made my way through them. And it did not take long for me to get the bug. Every day after work, it was make progress in Kingdom Hearts until I was all the way to the end. And I just fell in love. I had tried Kingdom Hearts a few times prior. One was kind of a wall for me. There was too much about that game that wasn't quite polished enough for me, and it made it difficult. But once I got past that, it really took off. So now I'm a diehard.
Hell yeah. One of us.
That's
one
really...
of us.
It's cool to see that you're a latecomer. You'll love to see it. Out of curiosity, what ended up being your favorite?
I think Birth by Sleep is my favorite. It's close between that and Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. Same.
That's usually the two that are brought up the most as the best in the series, and I lean more towards Birth by Sleep as well. Mm-hmm. I just think its pacing is the best of the series and really takes advantage of what it does. But I believe, Ash, you and myself are basically the same thing, where we saw it was a thing coming out, got it, loved it, stayed with it.
I mean...
bought consoles and portables for this series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I still remember when I went to the launch party for the original Kingdom Hearts, which is crazy in hindsight. Because it's been, quite a few, as we know, been quite a few years since then, so I feel old. But I still vividly remember that Kingdom Hearts 1 launch party. And even prior to that, I remember my first time seeing it was at E3, like, God, I don't even know how many years ago. But I was there for the E3 where Square showed, like, the very, very first Kingdom Hearts trailer in their enclosed theater at their booth at E3, and I still remember being absolutely captivated by it and thinking, oh my God, this is made for me. I need this game in my blood. And all these years later, here we are, and I'm still through its ups and downs just a diehard fan of this wonderful, weird series. I truly think the world would be a more boring, sadder place without Kingdom Hearts in it.
I am also a very big fan of Kingdom Hearts. Was there through the entirety of it. I vividly remember getting Chain of Memories. I started with the original, of course, and saw the preview articles and stuff like that, and was just like losing my mind because I was a big Disney fan, and seeing Final Fantasy is what got me into RPGs. To see a combination of it just entranced me. But then you have the Christmases of getting Birth by Sleep on GBA, not Birth by Sleep, but Chain of Memories on GBA, to Kingdom Hearts 2, to all the stuff after that, where it's like, well, I don't have a PSP, I only have a DS, so I guess I'll only worry about 358. And then you see what Birth by Sleep is doing, you're like, well, I guess I'm buying a PSP. And I stuck with it. I was just there for the series. But I say, I don't know if I would call myself a fully lapsed fan, but I'm like kind of teetering there because I am not a mobile gamer whatsoever. Sure. And the heavy emphasis on so much story stuff from the mobile games, like you get that back cover or whatever it is in the compilations now that's to sort of catch you up on certain things. There is so much more beyond that.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. And it all feels like plot important stuff. And so because of that, it's just like, it started feeling like, oh God, it's homework. It's like, I have to see that if I want to see it all, I have to catch up with this, even though the story beats of there is really interesting because I believe there's like a murder mystery during the Unchained Key storyline on mobile, which is insane for Kingdom Hearts. But it's just like, how does it go from here? How does it keep you invested? And I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be a really big tell for that, especially with how they handle those characters. And especially because I think most significantly, we just had our first ever Kingdom Hearts game cancellation. We got a game that was said to be coming out, and then, nope, it's not coming out. It's canceled. And that's weird.
Would it be weird or upsetting for me to say that I'm not upset that it was canceled?
Oh, I'm not either, because I think it was going to be
another mobile game.
Augmented reality mobile game. Yeah.
I don't need to play Pokemon Go Kingdom Hearts Edition.
Exactly. I'm not mourning the loss of Missing Link. I mean, it was weird to hear about, a game in a series so storied as Kingdom Hearts being canceled, but at the same time, it's not as though it was like I'm assuming it wasn't meant to be like a mainline game. It's another mobile game. And, so I'm not necessarily mourning the loss of it, but of course there was going to be lore that I assume now is going to be adapted into Kingdom Hearts 4.
From my understanding, it was following a character from Unchained, Union Cross, whatever. It's following up their fate from that game. I don't know exactly what it was going to be, but that was the idea.
I am really curious to see how Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to basically interact with fans like us who have not necessarily played all the mobile games, maybe don't know all the mobile games lore. I mean, I know for myself, just because I love this ridiculous series, I'm going to be looking up YouTube videos leading up to Kingdom Hearts 4's release to get all the lore on Union Cross, Unchained Key, Dark Road, all of that stuff, just so I know everything because I'm so invested still. But not everyone is a psycho like me who's going to do that. And, this new trailer that we just saw from D23, Sora is just throwing out names like Strelitzia and Sigurd for people. Most people aren't going to know who that is unless they've done their homework, right? And because those are,
and you can treat that as just, it's new characters. They can treat it as just like it get their introduction, get their backstory. You don't really need to know where they come from or their whole backstory unless you decide you love that character and want to go back and see it. So there are ways to make that work where it's just not necessary. But Kingdom Hearts has also trained fans because every game has story stuff, and that's the hell of it. The hell of this series is because it's been on so many different things and to have it be on these mobile releases, and you're just like Melody of Memory has story significance, not a ton, but it's there. It's continuing
well, it helps bridge
things
3 or
off.
4. Yes,
yeah. That and everybody knew it was going to be the case. That's the thing. Everybody looked at that and was like, "Yep, they're totally going to do that."
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, similar to back cover, they find some other way to adapt the important bits into something digestible. Because I know Kingdom Hearts is going to Kingdom Hearts, but I feel like they're going to want people to at least have some idea of what's going on.
I think there's precedent for that, not just in the terms of back cover, which I think is it's whether or not back cover is more effort or something like Octopath Traveler 0 or Final Fantasy Resonance, where they take a mobile game and readjust it to be more traditional on consoles and PC. And that I think that would be, if they did that, I think I'd be right back in. Like, no, like full stop. Just, okay, let's do it.
That would help for sure. I definitely like, I would not consider myself a lapsed fan. I definitely kind of, my view on everything changed a little bit when they started going so mobile heavy and they had so much lore locked into the mobile games. I was like, I'll catch up on this stuff eventually, but I'm still like there, right? Like, you know, even though I'm not a big fan of the mobile focus of late, I'm still going to be there day zero for Kingdom Hearts 4. Sora is still one of my favorite characters of all time. Like, I'm there day one, and I will be there day one for every future game in this series. You know, even though I didn't love the series' heel turn to putting so much important lore in mobile games, but that's all stuff I can research later, look up later. There's still nothing else out there quite like Kingdom Hearts, really. I mean, anywhere. And so I think that's why, like, no matter how weird the series gets, I'm always going to be there for it. It speaks to something I could say in my heart, but I'll say in my soul that nothing else quite tickles the pleasure center in my brains quite like Kingdom Hearts, I guess.
I think Kingdom Hearts 4 would be a good opportunity to kind of streamline the entire, just the entire thing. You know, like the Dark Seeker saga took a million years to finish across multiple consoles from different brands. We don't need to do that anymore. Let's narrow the path a little bit. You know, we have the anime series coming, but that's a lot more accessible than entire video games. So I hope going forward that they streamline this so it's a little bit easier to stay, you know, involved as a fan and kind of be caught up on everything. Like, I don't want this to be an MCU level effort where I have to watch 17 shows, 45 movies. Like, let's clean this up a little bit.
How easily can people just jump into Kingdom Hearts 4? I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right there. Just how accessible is it? And I feel like that's going to be a pretty big goal of theirs. I think just resetting things, especially because, you know, well, this year's I've never really paid attention to D23, like, as far as Kingdom Hearts goes, because it's just never had a presence. Disney's never bothered, but this year's was like, oh, they're going all out for this one. Here's multiple panels for it. Here's a brand new trailer. Here's the show that just caught everybody off guard. It's so much more than we've ever seen in the past, which tells me that either Disney's like, okay, we have this thing, we're gonna take advantage of it for now because we have that nostalgia built in, or they view this as a new chance to get new fans involved with this entry point.
Well, it is really cool to see, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand, no pun intended, with Disney's recent announcement that they now count Kingdom Hearts among one of their billion-dollar franchises. Like, I don't know why it took them so long, but Disney now is full-throatedly like shouting from the rooftops that Kingdom Hearts is now a quote-unquote billion-dollar franchise. They clearly see it as something very valuable in their lineup of IPs, and we're seeing that reflected in how, you know, the series was highlighted at D23, just like you said, Derek, this year in a way that it has never been before. And I have a feeling we can kind of expect that going forward from future D23s and just kind of in the future. It sounds like Disney is going to be kind of just, shouting from the rooftops that Kingdom Hearts is a big deal for them. And it's a core franchise for them going forward. Not that it hasn't been already, but they've been quiet about it up to now. And I don't know why, but going forward, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case anymore.
I have a suspicion for why that might be happening.
Okay.
I could be totally off base here, but I think the success of One Piece live action might have something to do with this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Could
Sure.
be.
Because, Japanese media, specifically something more anime focused, has such a normalized presence in the US here now that maybe Disney feels like, oh, we have one of those in our pocket right now, and it features all of our IP already. Let's just push it out there. People will consume it.
I mean, people like our anime-fied villains line. Like, what is that? Dark Twisted Wonderland or something like that, where they made a lot of the characters Bishonen.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, it's just this thing. Like there is a market for that, and it's not just limited to Japan anymore. This is a worldwide thing. So maybe they're finally going to go for it, because there was, I believe, an attempt to make Kingdom Hearts a TV series back when it first released, and it just fell through for whatever reason. So it's something they've always sort of toyed with, but never fully went for. And now's the chance that they're actually feels like they're finally going for it.
And to me,
but
it feels
also,
like the right time to do it.
With 4 and the start of a new saga,
Yeah.
absolutely. But my worry is there's so much baggage from Unchained Key because of the Master of Masters and his whole deal, and what's Zigbar going his big reveal at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 and all that stuff, and the fact that Sora is technically dead.
That there is the fan part of me that, like, something I love, like, about the sagas in, like, Dragon Ball Z. Like, the end of one saga informs the direction of the next one. Like, the Android saga kicks off the way it does because Goku's dead. So, like, the events of the Dark Seeker saga and the way it concludes plays into where we start here. And, like, from a narrative perspective, that's really exciting and enjoyable. It feels like the things that happened mattered.
Yeah.
But it is a barrier for new fans.
It's one of those things, and they've always done a very good job with these compilations, because here's the series. It's super cheap usually. Like, even if it launches, just wait. It'll go down to like $20 at some point, and you can play the entire series for that. And it's always been a fantastic deal. And Japan is much more comfortable with just jumping into a story part way, and just sort of picking up the backstory as is, because you have a kid that's 10 jumping into One Piece, for example, in Shonen Jump. You're not going to get the whole backstory. You're just going to jump in where it's at and pick up from there. It's like, oh, this is still kind of cool, and then you sort of look into the stuff before.
I mean,
jump in at that point.
Bringing it back to Dragon Ball Z, that's what happened here in the U.S.
Same.
We didn't have Dragon Ball.
It's like all this. It's like, wait, there was stuff that happened before this. Like, we had no idea for the longest time. So it's not an impossible task. It's just a matter of how it's told and how much they lean into it that people might feel like they're lost. And I think I knew the worlds were going to be in there, but seeing Coco and starting to see the Disney world, it's like, okay, I feel. I just had these nerves. I don't know why. Every time I'd see Kingdom Hearts 4 up to this point, it's just like, it's this boring Japan setting. It's so, I don't know what they're doing with this. It just felt so weird, and so just off kilter. So to finally get some kind of normalcy in Kingdom Hearts with these Disney worlds, and perhaps the thematic way they're going to go about it, is genuinely exciting. Like these latest batch of trailers is what finally got me really excited for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, I think that was partly I think I think of that in two ways. Like, in one way, I find the setting of Quadratum to be really interesting, because, as we know, Sora exists in a space that the game calls unreality, or the other side of reality. As you said earlier, Derek, he's essentially quote unquote dead after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, and we've got the whole thing with like the rug pull with Verum Rex being like an actual world on the side of unreality, and so that's this city called Quadratum. And I think that was a really interesting way to take the story, and so I've been really intrigued by that. At the same point, though, we went a long time, like what, 3+ years, with our only glimpse of Kingdom Hearts 4 being realistic looking Sora in Quadratum. And then we got that Nintendo Direct trailer more recently, which was still just Quadratum. So like a feeling started sinking into me like, man, is this game in development hell? When are we going to see anything outside of Quadratum? Not that I don't like Quadratum and find it interesting where the story's going, but like, man, what, 4 years, 5 years on, why is this the only setting or world we're still seeing, right? And then we saw Coco and we're like, oh, okay, now we're back. Not that I don't want to see more of what's happening in Quadratum with Yozora / not Noctis. I want to know more about what's going on there. But at the same time,
this feels like what happens to people who watched the Super Mario Odyssey reveal trailer. Like it opens up in New Donk City and it's all real people in a real setting. But we didn't have to wait 3 years to find out that the whimsy's still there.
Yeah. That's I think that's the other thing is I had to shut down because I've seen it before where you're like, here's the game, it's coming, and then you have to wait 4 or 5 years for actually to release because they never learn to not announce these things so damn early. It's always too damn early, especially nowadays with how long it takes. And it's also good to see Coco because it's us stepping away from Nomura desperately trying to make Versus 13 a thing. It's something everybody's talked about, but I'm
still curious to see where the story's going vis-a-vis Yozora though. Like I'm really curious what role he's going to end up playing in Kingdom Hearts 4 and how that all is going to come together. But yeah, like now that we've seen Coco, I'm like, okay, what other worlds are we looking at? We got the possible Star Wars tease in the original trailer. We saw the Moana Keyblade in the Nintendo Direct trailer. Does that mean Moana's a world? It probably is. But like, I'm so excited to see what else we're going to see in terms of worlds. I'm also really curious. I kind of have a feeling they're going to make us work for our boy to reunite with his boys, meaning Donald and Goofy. Because, obviously they are literally realities apart at the current state of the story. And I kind of feel like they're going to, it's not going to be super late into the game, of course, but I feel like we're going to start off and maybe have a few hours before we actually get to see Sora, Donald, and Goofy properly reunite. And I think that also adds an interesting wrinkle to the story because we're used to them being together all the time. But at the start of 4, they're ostensibly not. And we saw in the most recent trailer, he sees like projections of Donald and Goofy in Quadratum. And it's like, okay, we've never really had to deal with them being separated very much before. So that'll be an interesting wrinkle, I think, too.
It has echoes of the original Kingdom Hearts where he's looking for Kairi and Riku. So it has that. And it's interesting to have like in the Coco world, you can clearly see Donald and Goofy are not there. Your two, the two Disney characters that are not Donald and Goofy are your teammates in that world, which is never happened before. That is a very unique thing. And to take it a step further, I think there's a lot of possibilities for the worlds you get to visit, like maybe new worlds with Sora, classic worlds with Donald and Goofy. Because you're playing them. you are playing as Donald and Goofy for the first time ever outside of the multiplayer in 358. And same with Mickey. Mickey was only playable in 358 and when he ever came into rescue in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Well, what's really interesting about Mickey in particular is that we know from the D23 panel that at least one of the segments you play as him, it's specifically in Scala ad Caelum. So I think we're going to get a lot of lore drops with the Mickey segments because we know he's specifically exploring Scala ad Caelum, which in Kingdom Hearts 3 we got to visit, but we didn't get very much lore there. It ostensibly just served as the setting for the final battle. And so now I think we're going to get some real lore drops about what Scala ad Caelum is, what happened to it, what happened to its people, and that I think is going to be really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential with this one. I think what I'm seeing from the gameplay seems to be a much more focused effort because I really enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3, probably more than most, but I've always been annoyed with how Sora just randomly gets these these theme park powers.
Oh,
and his
yeah.
abilities seem reined in Kingdom Hearts 4 a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind scaling some of that back. Because at some point it just feels like candy, but there's too much candy and I don't want it.
Yeah. I remember I specifically played 3. Eventually I just started playing it without using the theme park attraction moves because they were just too powerful. And I think there was a patch later on that actually gave you the option to just switch those moves off completely because Square heard the criticisms about those moves just being not only too powerful, but just they were like the Final Fantasy VIII era of Esper summons, right? Where they just went on too long and they slowed down the pace of battle so much. And so I think there are ways, and I think we've seen this borne out in the trailers so far, where you can still have Sora be extremely powerful and doing all this cool, flashy stuff without breaking the pace of the combat with stuff like theme park attractions, right?
Yeah, I think that's why Kingdom Hearts 2 is still held up as like this pinnacle of the gameplay of the series.
I agree.
It's where the combat feels at its most pure, I guess is the best way to put it.
Definitely.
I feel like you can retain some of the theme park stuff, but you got to save those for specific like set piece moments, right? It's fun to do once, but I don't want to do it 6 times per battle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things where I was worried I wasn't for it. I was like, am I finally past Kingdom Hearts? But I think they're slowly bringing me back in. I think there's a lot of potential here. It's not perfect. I've seen a lot of discussion about Sora's design in Kingdom Hearts 4. And
Sora is man.
Yes, exactly. Sora is man. Sora is going to be the protagonist of Versus 13, damn it. And if we have to get rid of his gloves and his big shoes, damn it, we're going to do it.
I mean, I like, though, in a way, I mean, I know maybe not everyone's into his realistic proportions, at least in Quadratum. And we may see that scale back in some of the more, some of the cartoonier worlds, right? Because Quadratum is meant to be a realistic looking world. But at the same time, I've grown up with this series. I've grown up with Sora. I like seeing that he's older and that they're sticking with that. We've seen in games like Dream Drop Distance where Nomura had this kind of weird fixation on reusing Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora over and over again. And it's like, no, I like seeing Sora grown up and, growing up with me is essentially. And so I get why people are maybe a little mixed on his, official render, his Quadratum look. I get it, but at the same time, I'm glad we're seeing this character grow up and continue to grow up and go through stuff and mature and evolve. And so I don't know. I don't actually mind his. I wouldn't say I wouldn't mind it. I like his design in 4, and I'm kind of here for it. And it's just nice to see him see this older Sora and what he's going to go through and how he deals with everything.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can see that aspect. I don't know. I just he seems to be blending well enough with the Coco world, and I like seeing him in the same paint as Miguel to kind of blend in. They didn't actually make him a skeleton; they just decided to make him more like Miguel. So
though it would be appropriate if he was a skeleton because he's dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, and that's an interesting point, Brandon, because Nomura specifically mentioned that one of the worlds they chose with Coco because of Sora's current status, or what he's going through right now. He, as we've said before, he's essentially this series' version of Dead, and they chose Coco for that reason because of its thematic elements relating to death. So I'm really curious what's going to happen story-wise in the Coco world that kind of, gives us a little bit more context as to what being dead means in Kingdom Hearts terms.
I mean, they have Donald and Goofy going to Hades
right?
to find out.
Exactly.
That's about as dead as you can get for that.
He's like, Sora's
go
not
to
here.
hell.
Yeah,
exactly. And that also, like, you mentioned Moana. Keyblade's been seen. Moana makes sense. How do you tie it in for Sora's Lost? You wayfinding. Mm-hmm. Follow the stars.
Right.
That's his way home.
find your way home, all that stuff. It'd be fun if we get you can get a boss fight against Tamatoa.
Yeah.
With Moana. It's hard to say what other franchises they'll choose. Will they go beyond to like Star Wars and so forth?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Because the whole premise of that story is grief. Mm-hmm. And, Marlin being unable to let go because of what happened to his wife. So I think they could tie that in thematically.
Yeah, I could see it.
I think so.
We did get what seemed to be a possible Star Wars tease in the original reveal trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was born out into an actual Star Wars world. I think another question on lots of people's minds is the big Marvel question. Are we gonna like cross the Marvel threshold and get a Marvel world in Kingdom Hearts 4? What do you guys think?
I mean, that technically happened already, didn't it?
I mean, technically, if you include Big Hero 6, but that's so...
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean.
Rest, like, what you think of with MCU.
Yeah, like MCU Marvel. Yeah, I mean, like Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, that sort of thing.
If Sora were to, like, team up with any particular Marvel hero, who would it be, though? My heart says Spider-Man, but I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, Spider-Man is the most popular one,
yeah.
So that's who you'd go with. But
we already have like a big city world, like in Quadratum, right? Would like New York City be too similar to that in theme,
Right.
So
true.
But Spider-Man is the one that also appeals the most to kids.
That is true.
Personally, I think Doctor Strange would be interesting because of the wild visuals and platforming scenarios.
That would be really cool. I think I would enjoy seeing Sora. I don't know how much it would make sense thematically, but I know personally that I would enjoy Sora quipping around with the Guardians of the Galaxy crew. But I also realize that they're not, they're popular in the MCU, but they're not like mega popular in the general zeitgeist like Spider-Man is, of course, right?
I think you kind of go for, honestly, maybe go for Iron Man because you get that banter because Sora's so magic based. To have somebody all about tech and having kind of this rivalry with Sora.
They also have two different ideologies.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Sora's everyone's my friend. Iron Man is snobby rich man.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's sort of the best bet there, if it happens. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger yet.
Yeah.
But I
feel like the moment will be gone if you don't do it now.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're getting by next year, it'll be leading up into Secret Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like the end game of this
saga.
Set of Marvel.
Right, of this, yeah.
Whether it's as big or not, it's hard to say. But that's, if you're going to tie it in, that's when you do it.
Now, of course, this can't happen, would never happen because it's technically owned by Sony, but just imagine a Spider-Verse world. If you wanted to have Spider-Man and Sora team up and have Kingdom Hearts in a Spider-Man world, the Spider-Verse style is how you do it, man. Imagine how cool that would be.
Oh, if they like animate them on twos, so it has that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be so cool.
It'd be really cool. It's
never
not going to happen because of the Sony connection.
Yeah, total pie in the sky.
Not happening. Yeah, I don't know. That's the fun of Kingdom Hearts, of just debating who you think will show up, what will show up. I think a bigger question, honestly, a bigger mystery than whether Marvel or Star Wars will show up is, will Final Fantasy show up?
That's a good point.
That's because, oh boy, that has just been lessened and lessened and lessened as a selling point as time has gone on.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 especially really sidelined the Final Fantasy aspect of Kingdom Hearts, and I really, I liked Kingdom Hearts 3, but I did not like that aspect of it, and I really hope Kingdom Hearts 4...
It's insane we did not have a Sephiroth boss fight.
I know, and I really do hope that 4 does bring back some of the Final Fantasy-ness into Kingdom Hearts, because, it was originally, as we all know, was conceived as, Disney crossed over with Final Fantasy. And we've seen the FF part just lessened so much over the years. Bring that back, we've seen a little bit of that in how Nomura's still clearly trying to make Versus 13 within the context of Kingdom Hearts with Yozora and Quadratum and everything. But I still want to see some more legacy FF characters in Kingdom Hearts 4, including the characters that we know and love, like Leon and Yuffie and Tifa and Cloud.
Just bring in remake Cloud. Don't even change him.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that's the other big thing is Cloud, you seem different. It's a remake Cloud and Tifa and Aerith and all that. Get their actors in here. That'd be so much better.
Totally agree.
I'd also, one that I'd personally love to have, I would love a Muppet World.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool.
I want Sora to be a Muppet. I want it that you can only ever see him from the torso up. Get really silly with it.
That would be fun.
I would love that so much. Oh gosh, but
for me, that's over Marvel in Star Wars. Is the
really cool. That would be this game's Nightmare on Elm Street or Tron.
Yeah.
Speaking of it, and that's kind of my wish list thing, and it'll never happen, but I personally am a pretty big Tron fan. So is my wife, and I always loved the interplay between Sora and the original Tron in Kingdom Hearts 2, and then how that was followed up on in the Tron Legacy world in Dream Drop Distance. But because of how we know Tron Legacy goes, Sora and Tron never get their reconnection moment, and I want them to still, but Tron Ares had nothing to do with, very little to do with Legacy and the original, so we're not going to get it, but I really want Tron and Sora to have their reconnection moment someday in the future, even though it's probably not in the cards.
Yeah, I don't think I want Jared Leto.
No, I don't need Ares. I specifically just mean the original Tron. I don't need Ares in Kingdom Hearts ever. For sure.
Well, I highly doubt that'll ever get capped off or anything
not.
like that. But it's such a minor thing. Be cool if it did, but it seems unlikely. No. Yeah, I honestly, I had a thought, and Brandon, I think you'll like this. Is we always get the Winnie the Pooh world, which be kind of is always fun, and have see how those characters interact. What if we got a Bluey world?
Oh my god.
I would die if that happened.
I don't think I realized that.
I don't think it'll happen. Well, Disney licenses in for the States.
Okay, gotcha.
It's BBC, so it's not technically Disney. But
I would give...
I have no idea how big it is in Japan.
I would give anything to fight the Heartless alongside Bandit Healer.
I think that would be... I think it'd be like Winnie the Pooh, where you don't really fight anything in there. It's just for mini games and so much. But it would also be an opportunity to give Sora a good dad.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Also, just to have Bingo in Kingdom Hearts. Bingo is my precious bean, and I love her to death.
I'm imagining Muffin in her grumpy granny mode dealing with Sora.
That's the final boss of the world.
I've always personally counted among one of my favorite Pixar films, The Incredibles, and I don't know how they would make it work thematically, but I would love it if there is an Incredibles world and you just got to fight alongside the entire family with all their different superpowers. I think that would be
they're going to stuff this game with superheroes.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think, man, do you choose Marvel or do you choose Incredibles?
Incredibles 3 just got announced.
That's true. Yeah. And so did Frozen 3. So I wonder if we'll see a return to, the Frozen world.
I don't know if Frozen 2 was as big.
Oh, it wasn't
as big of a deal.
It wasn't. Yeah.
So,
same with Moana too.
Honestly, I think what could be interesting. I don't know what they do thematically for it. And maybe this is a world that Donald and Goofy go to make it a little bit simpler. But Zootopia, I think, would be an interesting world.
Yeah,
I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Another one.
We could go full furry Sora, or just let's let Donald and Goofy go to this world.
We got furry, fuzzy monster Sora last time.
Yeah, we did, exactly.
That is true.
Another movie that comes to mind that deals a lot about grief and death is Up. And I wonder if they could make that work in the context of Kingdom Hearts 4 and where Sora is at. Just because, like Coco, this is another movie that deals primarily with grief and death and letting go and moving on. And that could be interesting. Carl would be an interesting party member.
You reminded me of that's Pixar's Soul.
Oh, Soul 2. You're right.
The protagonist dies.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
See, I didn't think about Soul. I was thinking Inside Out. Mm-hmm. Since you're dealing with emotions and
that
whatnot.
Too, yeah.
So literally getting into the darkness of someone's heart.
I feel like Inside Out is a safe bet.
Yeah. There are so many possibilities.
Yeah, we could theorize all day, but I think it's one of those things where I feel like Kingdom Hearts is at the moment. It was very much at a standstill for me personally for the longest time. And these new sets of trailers, seeing Coco, seeing the okay, it's like 2027. We're locked in for that. Okay, you have my interest. Let's build it up. And I think it can easily sell me on this. It does not take much to sell me on these games. Let's see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm happy to be at a more excited place than I have been for a long time with Kingdom Hearts.
Nice.
Yeah, same here. I'm absolutely ecstatic that we're getting an anime.
Oh, I can't wait to hear more about that and see our first glimpse of it.
And even more so that it's not like an adaptation. It's just going to be a story we haven't heard before from the looks of it.
Apparently like a brand new story in the context of the, canon Kingdom Hearts universe. I can't wait.
If I had to take any kind of guess, that's how you adapt the Missing Link stuff, or Origin of Master of Masters.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy.
So, that would be wild.
Yeah, right?
That is one thing that was mentioned during the D23 panel is that Maleficent is going to play a big role in Kingdom Hearts 4, which makes sense because her story was left unresolved, obviously, by the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. And she's still searching for that box that the Master of Masters, she's still searching. That damn box. What's in the box?
That was
so that'll
probably
be interesting.
the most upset I've ever been about anything.
Yeah.
Was when that game ends and I still don't know what's in the damn box.
I know.
I didn't even think we'd be crossing over with Tarantino.
Exactly.
What the heck? Yeah. Apparently this new saga is called the Lost Master arc. So who knows who that is, or if they're just building up to the Master of Masters or whatever. But
it's Sora. Everyone is Sora.
Way. Yeah, everybody's Sora.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Exactly. Really quickly before we wrap up, I just do want to pay a quick tribute to Hayden Panettiere, who really sadly passed away at the way too young age of 36. And she, of course, was the original voice of Kairi and, a voice I grew up with. I'm sure we all saw her in Heroes and various other media, and just really sad that she passed away so young. So just wanted to say rest in peace and pay her a quick tribute.
Yeah, that was a shock to see.
Yeah.
It hit.
It did, right?
It was always in so many different things, and after all this wonderful Kingdom Hearts news, then
at the end of that weekend specifically, it's like, oh man, yeah,
sobering, but yeah, it's we'll have to see how things continue on and what happens next. And
she sure left a legacy with Kairi. For Kingdom Hearts legacy, sure. Yeah.
That being said, I think that'll be it for us to talk about the state of Kingdom Hearts. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to GVG, hitting the like button, and ringing that bell. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/GVGaming with plenty of extra perks. So until next time, bye.
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 Sora!